just doing a clean up pass. We've done both sides. I put a bit of wiring to make it parallel with that back of the vice. So just going to do a clean up pass across here, and then we'll start the next one. Sweet! Right, on to the next one, then we'll put on the surface grinder. Right, we're back on it this morning. We're going to grind these V-blocks. The row you can hear is the hoover, which is part of the grinder really. It is a little bit annoying, but without putting it outside or something, then I don't really see can't make any difference. But that's workshops, I'm afraid. They're noisy. We're going to grind the V-blocks in. We'll dress the stone first, and then we'll set the V-blocks up, grind, make them square, grind the tops off, and then we'll do the V's. That bit taken care of. Flat stone over this already, just in case there's any burrs or anything like that on it. So that's been done. I've marked my part to know which way around I want them. I'll stand to the other side, so it's a little bit further away from this noise. spark you saw was I just leant across and I just caught the handle and dropped it about a thou. Right, so now we've gone over it like that. Now we know that all the pieces are the same height. We'll just see whereabouts it is on auto. Just alter it a little bit. Better, isn't it? I'll just zoom you out, and we do it with these two little chocks under here. So this lever here is what turns it backwards and forwards. So there you go, you can see it in the notches, and it just flicks it backwards and forwards. So those for you who hasn't got a surface grinder, that's how it works. The wider you open these notches, the further the travel you'll get on the table. I always have a spanner there. Right, let's zoom you back in. We'll set our 0. This is 5/10. It can be a bit boring, this grinding, malarkeys. What I'll probably do is do a bit and then show you the bits in between and me turning them round and so on and so forth. The reason we have the hoover going is because it sucks it down this pipe and just stays filling the workshop really full of dust. Without this, they're pretty messy. I do have coolant on it as well, as you can see, so that does help if you're using coolant. But without the hoover, it's not nice. You can lift the hoover spout up and down. As long as it misses your part, you're fine, and it's continuously sucking. Just taking that dust down. Well, that's our first pass. We'll do four more passes, turn them over, and I'll show you when we get a little bit further in. Right, this is going to be our last pass. We've took 8 thou off it. And if I hadn't made a mistake for a start, by just catching it a little bit, we probably only take about 3 thou off it, but such is life. I'm just going to take a couple of tenths off it now, and that's it finished. Right, we'll take the magnet off. That's got a nice job. Turn them upside down and we'll do the tops. So we'll keep them together same as they were. Over they go. Magnet on. Right, we'll just lower the table a bit, or rather lift the stone, we'll lift the stone just to make sure that we are, it's the wrong way, we are out the way. So I'll wind it in. I'll get me a little bit of paper when I can find it. It's quite close. To go across manually for a start. And what I mean by that is I'm winding it by hand. You can't see. Let me just move you back a little bit. Doing that once across, that now is flat to the stone. So therefore, you won't catch an eye bit, the stone grab it and throw the part and probably crash into the gas balls or something. So I'll bring you back a bit closer. Set our 0. I'll show you. Set our 0 on here. This is our depth. This is how far the head comes down. There we go. And we'll go in. We'll take half a thou and see what it looks like first. Again, once we get across it and we get a little bit closer, we're going to do that to all the sides, so you've got the general idea, and once we get them nice and square, then we can start working on the V, which will be a bit more interesting. As you can see, that's cleaning up really quickly, half a thou, because it's on the bottom, it's level with the other side, so that is parallel with each other. So therefore, you're either going to take out, there's just a couple of bits of rusty stuff here I'm going to take off, but apart from that, you won't have a lot to take off this side at all. See, half a thou's just about cleaned it up. Right, it's to the end. When we get a little bit nearer, we'll do the sides, and then we'll bring you back when it's a bit more interesting. That's taking about 1/1000th of an inch off at the moment. We just strap both the blocks together to make them both square, and we're just finishing off now. So once this is done, then we can start on the 45 degrees. We'll just turn them over, just run the grinder along the other side to make sure, and we're getting there. Right, just doing the edges. This is the first pass. That's taken a foul and a half. Right, we'll get the other side done, and then that'll be all done. Then we can start on the 45. Right, okay. This is the bit you've all been waiting for, I'd imagine. I've got an angle vise, that's the word I'm trying to look for, here. It's as old as the hills. How do I get 45 degrees? How did I manage that? I'll try and show you. We have a parallel. These are some parallels I made myself years ago, and they're being ground. And one of these bad boys. They're really good. What we've done is put it down here, set it to 0. We need a light on because I can't see it. So we set it to 0 because we know that obviously that is a 90-degree angle to the stone, and then we need 45 degrees. Now we can just slot it in there because we do know we cut those to 45 degrees, but what I've done is that they're magnetic, and then bring the table this way. .95, 45. Don't know if you can see that. So that's has given us our 45 degrees. Earlier on, I don't know why, but when I set it up originally, it was bang on 45, and that says 45.1. That could be the angle, slight angle I'm working at. Yeah, that's at 90 degrees. So that's at 90 degree to this, and it's 45 degrees. I hope you can see that. Let's zoom in a little bit if I can. Do comment on this new camera, by the way. I've put it in the descriptions of the first video. This new Sony I've got. I did watch the video all the way through, and I thought it was pretty good. The sound and everything's fantastic. And I've not got a remote control mic as yet, so I'm quite impressed with it. I'll grind this without the vacuum on because this part and the vacuum down here, because it makes a lot of noise and the camera's at the side of it, and we've put the vacuum out of the way so we don't want to collide, because it's quite complicated setup, this kind of thing. There's lots of ways you can do it. I have an angle plate here which I could have used as well, with stat blocks for 45 degrees. A little bit more difficult to fasten the part to, but you know, I could have used that. But the trouble is, once you get that and the vise, you start getting higher and higher, and because it's such an angle, it's difficult to get the stone in, and that stone's wearing down now. It's not as big as it was, so there's probably got an inch probably gone off it. So that's another way you could do it. I'm sure you could think of lots of ways. This is just my preferred method. So we're at 45 degrees. Yeah, I'm sure you can see that. It's 45 degrees. Right, okay. Now, the way I've set the stone up to be square is I've just put light down from the back. So we'll bring the stone in. And that wasn't the stone catching, that's a hydraulic oil. And oh, it's not going to do it. No, it's not going to do it. Now I'm going to have to put a bigger stone in after all that. It's catching in here on this centre, so I'm going to have to hunt a bigger stone out and put a bigger stone on. That's a shame. It wasn't any difference to the setup, but yeah. Right, you have to bear with me while I change the stone on it. I hadn't noticed that earlier, and I thought I was just going to get stuck straight in and show you it going, but hey ho, if the word was that simple. Right, bear with me, I'll change the stone and we'll be right back. As you can see, it's a really narrow stone. A lot of concentration needed as well. That's the only stone I've got at 7 inches. So tomorrow reordering stones. When we get close like this, I turn it off here and I'll do the last bit by hand so I don't crash. Turn the direction, I've got an arrow on it as well just to make sure. We go down the thou, nice and steady, then we plough back. This time we'll just come back, we won't alter the depth at all. Because it's a narrow stone, it's fairly trying for it, so just so we don't overload it. Down another foul and away we go back. It's a a shame really my milling wasn't better. I should have made a better job of the milling. With all the crud and the oil and everything around, it was a bit trying. I'll zoom you in. That should be quite a good shot. That's down another foul, and back we go. Okay, I'll bring you back in a few minutes when we get a little bit further. Okay, I've put some green marker on so you can see how far. What I've done is I've slowed the feed down, the speed it comes over each time, because it was just taking too big a gap. It's a thin stone. The fan's running because it just causes dust in here. I've left the fan going. I just wanted to see what the video turns out like with the noise of the fan. So, and let me know how it annoys you. Okay, we'll set it off back again. I'll bring it all up, foul at a time. We're almost there. You should be able to see now, hopefully maybe in the video you can be able to see it stepping over. Now she's stepping over. Hopefully you can see that. I can through the TV on the side of the camera, so I'm hoping you can see that. It's quite a good shot. You should be able to see it walking across. That's about as close as you would want to get to a surface grinder, or the stone of a surface grinder. I hope you can hear alright with this fan going. But it's all trial and error really. See that walking across quite clearly now. It's only going at probably 20 thou or something like that, or maybe a little bit more than that. Yeah, it's actually going 20 thou. We're almost there, just a little bit on this corner. I'll bring you back when we get it done. Okay, we'll just turn it round. This side's done. And we're just starting on the other side. As you can see, it's all splattery. This side's the highest. Again, we'll go down a thou. That's about 3/4 of a thou. We'll go back, it's not worth taking a little bit like that. That's 1.5 thou. 1.5 thousandths. Bit better, isn't it? Now what we've got to come off, probably 25-30 thou. But as I say, if the guy who did the milling made a better job, it would make things easier on the grinder. As you can see, we're moving over very, very lightly in increments, just to give the stone time to catch up. If we go over too much on a narrow stone, it just overwhelms the stone. And the last little bit, right into the corner, I just turn by hand. And away we go back again. Right, all this is a bit boring, so when we get a little bit closer, I'll bring you back. Right, we're just going to put a V right in the bottom. In fact, that's not going to do it, is it? Completely the wrong stone. Sorry, I've been an idiot. We're just putting a little pit right in the very bottom of the V. That looks pretty good to me. I'll just take you off the tripod and see if you can see it better. see it there, lovely. What do you think? Look quite good, don't they? If you notice, I've left one side narrower than the other. I did that for a reason, so that I can always keep them uniform. If we turn them round, they're always going to be, that's the way they was grunt, and I thought it was probably the simplest way of showing it. I could take some off with a grinder or whatever to make them level, but I quite fancied them being like that, so I always, instantly you can see. They're only V blocks at the end of the day to hold things in the mill and what have you. So yeah. You can see this edge is thinner than the other edge, but again, they're not really made for precision. They're made to just to hold things put in the mill and just hold round stock. I'll show you what I mean. This there's a pin through here and I can't get it out. It just won't come out at all. As you can see, the other end's got an hole in it. If it had been that one, it would have been a lot easier because that one's sort of right in the middle of the splines. This one, unfortunately, is off on a tangent, so it's more difficult. So the idea is, I'm going to grip that in the vise with a V block, and that way I can hold it tight in the mill and hopefully mill it in the right place. So that's the plan. Obviously, for bigger stock, you can put them both in, but that'll work just fine, and we can grip that, and away we go. Right, well, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. I think they've turned out really nice, they're very pretty. What I might do is harden them. We end up with 3/8 at the end anyway. I did leave 1/2 inch, but we've taken off a good 1/8 of an inch with grinding and one thing and another. So just something to remember, if you ever do make any, make sure you leave plenty there. You don't want them snapping. Yeah, I might just see if I can harden them. But yeah, at least we've got a pair of V-blocks. What I'm going to do another day is make a smaller set. So out of the square we had, the square bar, which this was. And by the way, this is the old PTO shaft that we are kicking around the farm. It's definitely older than me. I would say it's in the region of 60, probably more years old. Square PTO shaft, and that's what you made those vices out of many years ago. and you struggled. Milling cutters, it just destroyed them. I don't know what kind of steel it is, but it's pretty rum stuff. But as you see, it grinds up quite nice, and it doesn't machine too bad, but it is really hard in places. I've had it in the fire loads of times, so I've taken the temper out of it quite a lot, so I think that's done a lot of good. But there you go. They're just under 1.5 inches each, and about 2 5/8 inches long. But they'll work just fine. Right, thanks for watching. Well, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. We're going to get on now with the PTO of the tractor. That's the plan. See if we can get that drop plate made, so that'll be the next video. That's what this video is going to be all about, but then I couldn't hold this, so I needed to make a V-block. We will be making some smaller V-blocks in time to come. We want some smaller ones as well. Now then, little job for you. If you go across to Al's channel, that's Pearce Lincolnshire. If you look up his channel, great stuff. He's got some brilliant content. He really does some good work, and he needs all the help he can get. Self-employed guy, salt of the earth. You won't find a better chap than Alan. Now, he's been going to build a new shed for a few years, and because the shed he's got is fairly small. In fact, you wouldn't believe how we got his mill in there. Now then, if you go over to his channel, just vote whether his wife should have a new kitchen or he should have a new shed. And so if you go to his channel, have a look, and we'll have a bit of fun with him. Okay, right, until next time, thanks for watching.